Hi, this is Dr. O'Hara, and I'm going to continue on with the guidelines uh, for the final paper. You're going to need to put together a schedule of activities like this to show how you're going to budget your time, and it's going to be one of the appendices that you're going to have for the paper. And what I've done here is I've put together an example of what you might do for yourself. So, and I've put in bold what things are due when. So, as I said, my idea was to have your memorandum be submitted in the first week, and then have your proposal submitted by the third week. And then in the blue, I've put in examples of what you might put down for your schedule of activities. And then you would be submitting Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and Chapter 5. And towards the end, you're going to start working on your oral presentation, and then your oral defense and your final submission. Now, the final paper is a little different in that it is the 5 chapters, and I'm going to have a screencast that will go over that into great detail. Both the proposal and the final paper are written in the third person and the past tense. So for this, you're going to have a title page, an abstract, table of contents, an introduction with a statement of the problem, purpose of the study, research question, the review of literature, which you need to have a balanced presentation of the pros and cons of your topic, discuss any possible adult learning theories, and maybe even a little bit about the target audience and why this might be important for them. Then in the methods and procedures, you're going to once again describe your methodology. Your procedures include the assumptions, limitations, the research procedures, inclusion and exclusion criteria, and your learning objectives. Then in the results, if you've collected data, that's where you present it. If you've done an independent study, you're going to discuss what you found in the literature that supports your research question, and you're going to discuss if you were able to answer your research question. Part of the results are also to restate your learning objectives, and then under each heading, discuss if you were able to meet your learning objectives or what part of the literature supports your learning objectives. And you can comment on if you ran across any barriers or obstacles that may have prevented you from reaching any of your learning objectives. In the discussion, conclusions, implications, and recommendations, the discussion is if you did an experiment, you're going to discuss your data. If you did any other kind of research project, then you'll discuss what the review literature found. In your conclusions, if you did an experiment, you'll draw conclusions about your data, and otherwise you're going to draw conclusions about your review of literature. And then your implications are what the implications of the data or what you discovered in the review of literature is for the target audience or for who you intended your paper to be for. Then in the recommendations, do you have any further recommendations for study or investigation? Whether you do developmental, experimental, or observational research? And do you have any recommendations for your target audience? Do you have any recommendations that will improve this experience that you went through for either a mentor or the university? That would be helpful also. Then you're going to have your references, and you're going to have your appendices, which will include the schedule of activities, explanation of any terms, copy of your IRB approval, and any product that you develop. I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to go over the oral presentation.